Bipolar disorder affects millions, and even one of the world's biggest superstars is far from immune from its debilitating lifelong effects. Tonight, the manic ups and crushing downs of bipolar disorder and Kanye West will be deep, fat, fried. So, Kanye West in 2014 demanded that a man at his concerts, at one of his concerts, get to his feet. Get to your feet. Stand up. He would refuse to go on with the show until this man would just stand up.
Damn, this guy has the balls to defy Kanye, huh?
But what Kanye failed to realize is the man was bound to a wheelchair. So,
oops.
Oopsie,
oh, man,
oopsie daisy, you know?
I couldn't see. It's a big crowd.
I mean, in fairness, he probably could not see that.
The lights got in my eyes. I couldn't see you, clearly.
But, yeah.
Stand up.
Stand up. You hear the people booing.
He's unable to stand Kanye.
You see people in the audience trying to do the wheelchair symbol to him. Like, he can't. He's in a
wheelchair, Kanye.
Yeah, it's impossible for him to do it. He would stand if he could. That's why he's in a chair.
This is the longest I've had to wait to do the song. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It is unbelievable, Kanye.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty unbelievable.
Well, Kanye, if you can truly perform a miracle, stand up. God's power will touch your legs.
I'm surprised he didn't go that route.
Life, you can dance. Come on, dude. You can't fucking.
Now, if he is in a wheelchair, then it's fine.
Yeah, he is.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yes, he is in a wheelchair. I'm glad that he. Look, if he's in a wheelchair, I guess that's okay. Like even then, it's kind of like I guess that's okay, maybe.
Yeah, like sitting there being in a wheelchair in the concert.
Like, is he in a wheelchair there?
Yeah, he is.
Only if he's in a wheelchair. You say it's cool as a wheelchair? You got the... Okay. Like we always do with this.
Kanye.
Is he in a wheelchair? Is he in a wheelchair? He's in a wheelchair?
He's in a wheelchair? Okay, let's do it.
It's like he had to be convinced. It's like, okay, he must really be in a wheelchair.
Like the gears turn and finally it occurs. Oh, shit.
Dude, props to his sound engineer.
I know, because like the second he decided to do it, that sound engineer was on it. He was just like, boom, right into it. Because he knows if he's not, he's going to be fired. So.
Oh, dude, I guarantee you, like, they're probably told, like, you got to watch him close.
Oh, shit.
Like, props to his sound and lighting team, because that was dope. Like, that was so good. He just went right into it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can just see that for a second. That was a pretty cool fucking thing. I have to say that. I noticed that as well.
Everyone kill your cams, because we need to drop a couple frames due to not killing them.
Okay, shit.
Here's Kanye with Trump. You know.
I like to look at Donald Trump's fucking face, man. Like, what do I do?
So
what
he was
say?
Kanye was invited. Even Trump, who himself is confusing as fuck.
Dude, Trump, who makes the fucking phrase like baffle them with bullshit, just takes it to a whole new level. Like meets like he has to just recognize that Kanye is just on a whole different fucking plane of existence with like when it comes to this bullshit.
So he was invited to the White House where he rants at Trump, and then the press.
And Trump had no idea what to do about it, so he just sat there and took it, just like fucking Taylor Swift sat there and took it.
Everyone stands there. I mean, everyone basically stands. You know, I will give him credit. There was a dude at like, I don't know, was it TMZ or something?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know you're. Yeah, he did.
Where Kanye West, I didn't pull this video, but there was a dude at like TMZ or some shit, and Kanye basically goes into one of his rants, and the TMZ guy's like, Kanye, you're full of shit. Shut the fuck up. And Kanye is just like dumbfounded, like, whoa, no one's ever even said that to me before. Some shit. He was like, couldn't even handle it. Anyway, whatever. I didn't pull it, so why am I even talking about it? This is Kanye talking to the president. We can just kind of skip around and let's just take a few little glimpses.
My dad
and my mom separated. So I didn't have a lot of male energy in my home. And also,
he's not even looking at Trump too. That's kind of great. He's talking to like the reporters on the side.
I'm married to a family that, not a lot of male energy going on. It's beautiful though. But there's times where, it's something about
Trump's like, I'm just gonna, yep.
I'm so happy.
Yep. This is great.
$38 billion market cap. It's called the Yeezy effect. And I went to Casper. We had a meeting in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That we bring jobs into America and that we provide a transition with mental health and the American education curriculum that Jim has worked on. Larry Hoover also has.
Trump is just a prop in this video, dude. I love it, man. Kanye basically just he gets to rant and Trump can just do nothing but just sit there like a piece of background shit. Like you're just a prop in Kanye's world. I dig it.
Has a curriculum that he's worked on. We have Montessori curriculums that we worked on. WeWorks has a beautiful curriculum. The Waldorf establishment has a curriculum. We have meditation. There's a lot of things affecting our mental health that makes us do crazy things that
Trump just like looking around, like I don't even know. It's like all the press just like, ooh, yeah, here they're. Dude, these fucking photographers are loving this shit, man. Like, yeah, they're doing that juicy, like, oh yeah, okay, yes, oh, it's a great picture. Oh yeah, there's Kanye. Oh, there's Trump. Oh god, it's great. Oh wow, this is so insane. Gonna capture this meeting.
I don't know, dude. This is right up Trump's alley, though. He's there doing his "I'm a businessman and I'm genuinely listening." And how could he tell if it's rambling or not? He's not paying real attention. He's not tuned in. He's just there for the photo op. Kanye supports me. That's all I care about.
Americans to read, and so that meant if you actually read the amendment, you get locked up and turned to a slave. Again, so what I think is we don't need sentences, we need pardons. We need to talk to people.
Okay. Anyway, so Kanye showed up and said some things, and I don't know what you want. So we could go on and on about stuff. I mean, like Kanye believes Bill Cosby is innocent. He believes that Harriet Tubman was apparently a slaver. Said slavery was a choice. Like another person we encountered in our past.
Yeah.
Ran for president or is running for president. It's confusing under the birthday party. But this show is not necessarily for just a litany of like, oh, well, look at all the crazy stuff Kanye has done. We want to get to the underlying root cause of at least some of this stuff. Kanye suffers from two things that are pretty much poison when mixed together. And one is bipolar disorder, and the other one is extreme religiosity. Let's start with the bipolar disorder. So we can kind of look at some of these symptoms here. And I guess I can turn my camera back on at this point. So here's just a little chart, this little picture thing. Feeling overly happy for long periods of time, talking very fast with racing thoughts, becoming easily distracted, having overconfidence in abilities, engaging in risky behaviors, feeling sad, or that's during the manic phase, of course.
Right.
The manic up. Yeah.
Woo!
I'm fucking awesome and everything's great and I'm so happy and let me tell you about all my crazy ideas and da 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 da. And then the lows are sad and hopelessness, significant change in appetite. I don't want that. Thinking about suicide, feeling fatigued, feeling a lack of energy, problems with memory, problems with concentration. That's the depressive side. So bipolar disorder is a mental illness that causes dramatic shifts in people's moods, energy, and ability to think clearly. People with bipolar experience high and low episodes known as mania and depression, which differ from the typical ups and downs that most people experience. In the mania mode, sufferers have a crazy amount of energy, less need for sleep, a flight of ideas, grandiose delusions, vulgar and unfiltered speech, irritable/elevated mood, constantly distracted, inappropriate dress, and an increase in risky behaviors. In the depressive mood, sufferers have feelings of worthlessness, guilt, and severe depression, negative views, loss of appetite, constipation, less to almost no interest in pleasure, insomnia, and even thoughts of suicide. Bipolar disorder can be brought up by genetics or by stress. There are 4 different types of bipolar disorder. So number 1, there's bipolar 1 disorder. Is an illness in which people have experienced 1 or more episodes of mania. Most people diagnosed with bipolar 1 will have episodes of both mania and depression, though an episode of depression is not necessary for a diagnosis. To be diagnosed with bipolar 1, a person's manic episodes must last at least 7 days or be so severe that hospitalization is required. So then there's bipolar 2, which is a subset of bipolar disorder in which people experience depressive episodes shifting back and forth with hypomanic episodes, but never a full manic episode. So that basically they never go into full mania, but they have little bursts of like mania, I guess.
Right.
Then there's a cyclothymic disorder, which is chronically unstable mood states in which people experience hypomania and mild depression for at least 2 years. People with cyclothymia may have brief periods of normal mood, but these periods last less than 8 weeks. And then they have bipolar, just sort of like a catch-all for anything that doesn't quite fit in those. It's just when a person does not meet the criteria for bipolar 1, 2, or the cyclothymia, but has experienced periods of clinically significant abnormal mood elevations. So those are the 4 types. Bipolar is very common in the U.S. About 2.8% of the population suffers from some form of bipolar disorder, with 83% of those cases being severe. So I do have a little bit of a little video on some of the bipolar things. Pretty short, little minute 45 second thing. So kill him cams.
Okay.
And let's take a brief look at this.
Very high and very low. The mood swings caused by bipolar disorder can range from one extreme to the other.
Moods are kind of a natural experience that we all have, and bipolar disorder is something outside of that. It's more extreme experiences.
Psychiatrist Dr. Daryl Tansky says bipolar disorder is classified as a mood disorder.
The illness usually starts to manifest itself in the late teens to young adulthood years. Genders are equally affected.
But the cause is unknown.
I love this graphic.
Yeah, this is this guy.
Health experts say bipolar disorder is a brain illness where 60 to 80% of people diagnosed have a family history of it.
It's a challenging diagnosis, first and foremost, because we don't have a laboratory study or an X-ray that we can rely on.
The condition will often present with depression. When diagnosing a patient, health experts will often look at the patient's sleep habits, excessive elevated moods, and risk-taking behaviors. All can lead to a positive diagnosis.
Once it's established itself as a chronic condition, the assumed likelihood of recurrence without treatment probably approaches 90%.
Treatment consists of prescription medication along with counseling to help the patient manage their stress, diet, sleep, and exercise.
The goal of the treatment is to take the extremes in mood and have that to a more comfortable mood.
The diagnosis and treatment can vary from patient to patient. For Lee Memorial Health System, I'm Lindsay Fry.
So, in the case of someone like a Kanye West, you have to kind of wonder if, like part of like being treated for this is probably someone who, is an authority or somebody like that who can like say like, hey, you're out of control. This is happening. That's happening. You need to get help. But when you have someone like Kanye who kind of thinks of himself as the center of the universe and who has that sort of perception of himself reinforced by millions of people and a tremendous influence.
Yeah. Legions of fans, legions of followers.
So it's kind of
fans.
It's kind of hard to go to that person and be like, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Because, you know, like someone like that's going to adopt a mentality of like, there's something wrong with me, something wrong with the world, you know,
there's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with everybody else. I'm not the fucking one who's at odds here. Like the rest of the world is at odds with me. And, you know, that's why you get these kind of like behaviors that seem sort of like inexplicable, weird. I mean, like it's like basically the mania has overtaken him. And, you know, there's just nothing he's not going to say, nothing he's not going to do. He's not going to have a proper fucking context of like what's appropriate in any given situation. And then he's just going to, and then if he's challenged on it, he's just going to be like, well, no, I'm vindicating what I'm doing because it's everyone else who's wrong. And, you know, honestly, there's instances like I think when Kanye spoke real truth during the Katrina stuff where this kind of serves him well. And honestly, like part of the reason Kanye is such a gigantic media figure is because people like me who aren't even really necessarily familiar with his music, you know, when he does these things, it fucking captures our popular imagination. Like, whoa, what's going on with Kanye? That's kind of crazy. Sure. So, I mean, like it's almost like his mental illness is sort of serving him in his capacity as a celebrity to some extent. And so it kind of creates this really strange, I don't know what you call like a moral sort of crux or conundrum or something. Yeah, conundrum's a good word. Where it's like, you know, this is being enabled in so many ways, including by people like me who are just fascinated by it. But how are you not going to be fascinated by it?
That's the thing is like Kanye, when mental illness is one thing and being in Kanye's position is another thing. And I would argue, by the way, and I don't know if this is the time to get into it or not. I don't want to step on later shit, but I'm a very, very firm believer in the fact that genius and insanity pretty much share space. And I don't like throwing around the word genius a whole lot, but
especially artistic genius, I would say.
I think that Kanye West is an artistic genius. He's definitely at the top of his fucking field. He makes music that consistently challenges convention, makes people think. And I would say that not only is his illness exacerbated by his position of power, but it also carried him there because this energy of what he suffers from is played out in his music and his public life in ways that people are fascinated by because we live in a totally fucking repressed society. We live in a society where showing emotion, having hot takes and saying things that may not be well thought out and grabbing the moment is frowned upon at every fucking corner. You're supposed to be a drone. You're supposed to be a conformist. You're supposed to walk in lockstep and dress and act and talk like everybody else does. Kanye West doesn't do that. So he's an outlet for a repressed culture that socially has been kind of conformed into norms that, you know, don't really fit the current fucking mood. Like people want to be more open. They want to take charge in their lives. And they see Kanye West in this position of being able to fucking walk up on stage at the VMAs and snatch Taylor Swift's mic, sit down with the president and ramble about nothing for fucking 8 minutes. You know what I mean? Like nobody gets to do shit like that except Kanye West. And so it's a sticky situation because the people that follow him enable his delusions of grandeur, but they're benefiting from it in a lot of ways. Like you benefit from Kanye West, TJ, because even you, a guy that speaks his mind a lot, is repressed by society's expectations.
I'm certainly more repressed than Kanye is.
Gotta subscribe on Patreon for the rest of the show. If you don't, then it means that your mama is a dirty hoe. Yes, you need to subscribe, damn